Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside of the Dwyer Ice Arena here in Niagara, New York for this play-in matchup in the ACHA hockey playoffs. We just saw UB take down Rutgers by a final score of 5-2, and tonight we have the Canisius Golden Griffins taking on the RIT Tigers. Alongside me is Pat Machado. Pat, how are we?
I'm doing great, Liam, and thanks to our colleagues from Rutgers for picking up the slack, as a bunch of us had work and classes preventing us here from getting here earlier, but glad to be finally here. 4 games on tap this weekend for us, and it's going to start with an exciting play-in matchup here today.
Yep, and the face-off has dropped here at the Dwyer Ice Arena. That one is picked up by Rochester to start things off. A check in the near side corner, but able to get free with it is number 8, Andrew Short, who dumps it deep, back behind the net. Short's the first one on the puck, but he drops it off for a teammate, number 14, Nick Gravel, up to the point. A shot is on by Alec Vent. That one is swallowed up by the goaltender, Charles Drolet, for Canisius.
Quick stoppage here in the early goings. 20 seconds elapsed in period number 1. RIT already threatening Canisius.
Absolutely, Pat, and the faceoff will be just to the right of Charles Drolet in net. Faceoff is won by number 8, Andrew Short, back to the point. In the near side corner, Canisius is able to pick it up once again, but a turnover behind the net to Nick Gravel gives it up to Rochester momentarily, but back come up the Golden Griffins. Puck played at the red line. Attempting to dump it deep was Alec Vent, but he couldn't do so. And now a stretch pass here coming for number 7, Zach Wagner. Wagner shoots. That one goes off the crossbar. Still on the near side here. That one's dumped in by Narby. Back behind the cage is Kyle Newdorf. Newdorf goes cross ice, tried to find Robbie Ciccieri at the point, but it hopped off his stick and will come out of the zone.
Nice move there by Zach Wagner of Canisius, just to slip by his defender and Alex Chernobyl. Got himself in some nice space and ripped the shot, and couldn't get just more perfect than that. If it was, it'd be a goal.
Absolutely, and the puck did come out at the line there, so it will be an offside despite the deflection opportunity for Canisius. So, Pat, early on in this game, we've seen a little bit of back and forth, but lately, Canisius' top line has been able to get some extensive offensive zone pressure.
And it has been a feeling out process now, hasn't it? This is a Canisius team that likes to play the body, and I think it's those playoff nerves. Anything can happen when it comes to this time of the season. You saw Rutgers almost pull off the upset on UB, up 2-0 at one point. It's anybody's game.
It certainly is anybody's game, Pat, as that puck is picked up in the neutral zone. It's going to be a 2-on-1 for Canisius. It's Ben Kite's shot, and that one whistles wide of Sam Benoit in net for Rochester. Comes back to the point. A shot is on. That one gets tipped before it got to Benoit, misses wide, and Rochester will be able to pick it up and just flip it out to neutral zone ice.
Canisius has had a step here in the early goings. They've been getting past the RIT defense, getting some odd man rushes in on goal, and they've come to play here.
Yeah, Canisius engaging on the forecheck, living up to the moniker that they've really been able to develop all season of being a team that likes to play with grit, likes to get into the dirty areas, and we've seen that so far in the first minute and 45 seconds. Face off to the right of Charles Drolet. Puck sent towards the goal mouth. That one didn't get a tip. Taken here by number 26. A shot. That one misses just wide. Canisius trying to get out of their own zone. Going down is a Golden Griffin. No call on the play, but they'll be able to get it out towards neutral zone ice all the way down, and this will be icing on the Golden Griffins.
So finally, RIT is able to answer with some chances of their own. A little more chaotic on their end of the ice as opposed to what Canisius has been able to generate thus far, but you can't really start analyzing what these teams are going to do and what they're going to show the other teams, more importantly, 2 minutes into the game.
Yep, and the face-off will be Anders Florek for Canisius, and it will be Andrew Short for Rochester. Short wins the draw, and a back pass all the way there for Nick Gravel right off of the face-off. Gets deflected up and over the netting with 17:49 remaining here in the first. And Pat, you know, we talked about this good start for Canisius. Recently, Rochester's been able to get themselves back into the zone. A little bit of a change of pace early on here. The face-off, it comes free for Nick Gravel. He sends one towards the cage. The deflection try was stopped initially by Drolet, and the rebound went off the crossbar as well, so Canisius lucky to headman their way out of the zone. Coming up on the near side is Ben Infante. He tried to make a pass on across that did not find its intended receiver. And it's dumped all the way down, back behind the net.
Drolet really strong on that last opportunity for RIT. Able to get across to that far post to block in that rebound attempt 3 shots on Drolet on that last sequence, able to stop every one of them.
Drolet has been very good early on for Canisius. Back behind the cage, picked up here by Carter Benedict for the Tigers. He drops it off to his forward, who gets it up to the neutral zone. A stretch pass ahead here for Andrew Short. He had some time and space, just couldn't get past the outstretched defending stick of number 19, John Creer for Canisius. Puck in the corner, picked up there by Canisius as they come through neutral zone ice. It's Jesse Calhoun who will just dump it deep and allow his teammates to go for a line change. Picked back up by Rochester here. Nearly a giveaway by the defense, and they do give it away. It's Zach Wagner in deep on the forecheck. The captain for Canisius, leading to that turnover, but it comes out to Rochester and they'll skate. It's Joey Harris on the far side. Harris makes a move past the defender, takes a shot. That one's pocketed away. Pretty move by Harris, but standing tall in net was Charles Drolet for Canisius.
Nice move, but good idea by Charles Drolet to get out towards the top of that crease. The defenders kept him far enough to the outside where if he was able to challenge the shooter, he'd be able to cut down significantly on that angle, and it was an easy save for the Canisius netminder.
Rochester has it now in their own end. A stretch pass coming from Alec Vent, trying to find his teammate, but it's sent right back the other way by the Golden Griffins. Rochester having a difficult time early on here getting set in the offensive zone, and as a result, they take an icing. So the faceoff will come right back in their end, Pat.
And trying to sneak a change at that last minute, too. Maybe some tired Tigers at the end of a shift there ordered back onto the ice. And Canisius threatening once again. Very slow start to this first period, though. It hasn't been as back and forth as some of these games have been, specifically with, I believe, the Oswego game. Like, the first period flew by.
Certainly did. Brendan Reed wins the faceoff for Canisius. The shot came from the point, got deflected, but standing tall was Sam Benoit in net for the Tigers. Skating out with it is number 86, Alex Chernobyl. He makes a pass and dumped all the way in on goal, and Charles Drolet will just handle that one after going into the breadbasket and catch it with ease. Pat?
Again, another easy routine stop for Drolet. Other than the Canisius chances and that one flurry getting 3 shots off, it really hasn't been grade A opportunities coming from either side.
We've seen a couple good chances, but both goaltenders have stood on their head thus far for each team. Trying to beat out the icing there for Canisius was number 3, Will Conmey, but he was not able to get there in time, so the faceoff will come right back into the Golden Griffins' end with 15-17 left here in the first period. And Pat, you look at these two teams. The last game for Rochester, they lost 5-2 to Rutgers, who we just saw lose 5-2 in the game previously to UB. And on the other side for Canisius, they defeated Rutgers in their last game 9-1, exploding for 5 goals in the third period.
And that was a massive loss for RIT too, having to play in the play-in game, as they were in a position to be 2 or 3. Certainly after Oswego got the job done against UB. Instead, they lose to Rutgers, which is probably a winnable game. Them two at the basement of the standings in the conference, but now they find themselves having to play one extra game, and if they can make it all the way to the finals, that's something that might be important.
Absolutely, Pat. There's a shot on from number 91, Zach Tominich, that just missed wide of Drolet. Some good opportunities on one end for Canisius. Rochester with a good shift right down on the other. Coming back is Canisius. It's headman by number 23, Robbie Ciccieri. He goes in deep, pinching in as the defenseman. Has some time and space out in front of the net on a sharp angle and put that one wide. Canisius able to keep it in, though. The shot is on by Will Tricario. That one doesn't get to the net, and Rochester is able to headman their way out. In their own end, Canisius tries to make a pass up in the neutral zone, tries to get it deep, and they eventually do, coming off of the stick of number 10, Andrew Urban. Back in Rochester's own end, a pass, missed connection, so Canisius will headman back. Coming on the near side here, a big check as Chris Fiorella goes down, but is still able to get it deep, but Rochester sends it the other way.
Fiorella had nowhere to go there. Didn't go down, but he was sandwiched in the end, and little how you do over the other end right by the Canisius bench.
Yeah, one hit on one end, another hit on the other. So a little bit of retaliation there as the play was whistled down. And Pat, like you said, when you look at this Rochester team, you can't evaluate them without talking about Alec Vent on the back end. 4 goals, 28 assists this season for 32 points. He leads the Tigers in points despite being a defenseman. So the offensive production from the back end, there's no short of that for Rochester. As we see Alec Vent, he is out there for this faceoff. It's won by Rochester. Trying to push it into the zone was Andrew Short, but it will come right back out to neutral zone ice. Alex Chernobyl tries to get the red line. He does. And he just dumps it deep after getting checked there by Brendan Reed. Puck came out in front. A shot is on. Turnaround shot nearly snuck through Charles Drolet. And I don't believe it crossed the goal line, Pat. But Drolet didn't close the pads in time. Had to reach back to make sure that one didn't trickle through.
And you bet every single one of those players on the ice's eyes just got wide as soon as you saw Drolet in desperation throw the paddle as deep into that net as humanly possible to try to snatch it between the stick and the pads. Little after the whistle stuff going on between Tibor Sedu-Ducati and an RIT Tiger, whose number I could not catch.
It'll be Hayden Chamberlain on the face-off draw up against Kyle Neudorf for Canisius.
It's playoff hockey. Gotta love this time of year.
Hayden Chamberlain wins the draw. That shot came from the point from the aforementioned Alec Vent. That one did not get through. Back behind the cage, it's John Crier just trying to get it out for Canisius. Sends it on the far side and able to keep it into the zone nicely there was number 15, Joey Harris for Rochester. At the red line, trying to play it is Zach Wagner. He just makes a pass off for his defender, number 4, Connor Schwartz, and he'll dump it down, but he did not reach the red line, so this will be icing on Rochester, so the face-off, on Canisius, so the face-off will come back into the Golden Griffins' end.
And those are one of those plays where, like, if you had a chance to take it back, you would. Had a little bit more time and space to maybe get up the ice and get that red line. Unfortunately for Canisius, flipping it down off of instinct and look down. You want to keep your head up in hockey, but make sure you got the red line before you shoot it in.
Absolutely, Pat. Interestingly, Rochester keeps the same line out. This time, Hayden Chamberlain is not able to win the draw, so Canisius will pick up with some pressure coming from the Tigers. Trying to force a turnover, but making his way out is Wagner. He crosses through neutral zone ice, gets the red line, makes a pass across, and the shot just whistled wide from Kyle Neudorf. Rochester just trying to get out of their own end, and they do so, sending it towards the red line and trying to pick it up after the turnover is Rochester here. They come the other way, but it's defended nicely by the Golden Griffins, and they'll come back the other way. Liam McLean tried to get that one deep. The defenseman pinching in, just trying to get some offensive zone pressure for the Golden Griffins here. Puck in the far side corner, but that one's picked up by Brad Shea. And on the near side here for number 20, Nathan Audie. Audie tries to dump it deep. He will do so without taking an icing. A pass out in front doesn't get through. Drolet was active with his stick to thwart that opportunity. In the near side corner, a big-time check there coming from Carter Benedict on Rochester. That one on Will Conmey, neither worse for wear. And the Tigers make their way through neutral zone ice. That one sent in on goal. That one will be covered easily by Drolet, and we have another stoppage in play just a little bit ahead of halfway through the first period.
And a very back-and-forth period now that both teams have settled into it a little bit. It takes a while for either team to sustain some offensive zone time, but once they do, they're attacking.
Yeah, they are attacking. They are getting shots towards the net any and every opportunity they can. As off the faceoff, Rochester wins it. It comes right back for comes back right for Nick Gravel, who sends that puck, and it gets deflected up and out of play. And the game before on this ice, if you're just joining us, UB took down Rutgers by a final score of 5-2. 5 straight goals for Buffalo. Rutgers jumped out to an early 2-0 lead in that game.
So that will pretty much seal the deal for tomorrow's matchups. Whoever is able to win tonight in this game right here will go up against the Niagara University Purple Eagles. And UB has a date with the Lakers of Oswego.
Yes, they have a date with the Lakers of Oswego, and of course Niagara, definitely a tall task taking them down. So it's certainly going to be an interesting game come tomorrow, which we will have coverage for once again. Canisius tries to make a pass into their own end. They're able to keep it on side here. It's number 17, Eric Powalski, sending one towards the net. Got deflected a couple times, but Rochester doing a good job defending in front of their own net. Puck fumbles around, but Rochester's able to pick it up. Canisius laying back here. but a good play there to keep it into the end by Jesse Calhoun. Jesse Calhoun gets it back to the point. It's Matt McCune. McCune takes a shot looking for a redirection, goes wide. Dump deep here. It's Tibor Sededucati in on the forecheck. Puck tried to get back to the point, but coming away with it is Rochester. It's Nick Gravel. Gravel skating towards neutral zone ice, but getting taken down past the blue line was number 8, Andrew Short, so that will be offside.
Andrew Urban getting tied up with Short in his skates. But that was a nice shift for that line of Jesse Calhoun, Tibor Sededucati, and Eric Pavelski, laying that pass off, which created that initial shot opportunity. But he doesn't go outside and get involved in no man's land. Where does he go? The front of the net, and the rebound comes out to him, unable to get a clean shot away on Benoit. But that was a beautifully executed offensive zone entry, shot, and rebound opportunity from the Golden Griffs.
Yeah, the Golden Griffs definitely with a good start to this game as they try to make their way out of their own end. A pass intended there for number 12, Will Tricario, doesn't get there, and it's sent right back behind Charles Drolet. Puck comes to the point here. Some time and space. A shot came off of the stick there of number 83, Alex Chernobyl, that didn't get through. But Rochester is able to keep it in. A shot from the point. That one coming from Joey Harris misses just wide. And the puck gets tipped up and into the netting. We'll have another stoppage of play. The faceoff will remain in the Canisius end.
Alex Chernobyl trying to spin that around the boards. Goes off a stick up into the protective netting. Faceoff staying inside the Canisius zone. So another offensive zone draw coming up for them. Tominich getting out there. Chernobyl still staying out there. The center on this line, I believe, is Roman Chernobyl. But now they're going to take the face-off into the neutral zone, and I think that's the right call.
So do I. I think Rochester did tip that one out. So the face-off will come out of the zone. It's taken here on the draw by number 28, Jonah Aherns. Excuse me, this will be number 26, Roman Chernobyl. For Rochester, he loses it, and Canisius recovers on the face-off draw. Taken here by Zach Wagner. He tries to make his way through neutral zone ice, eludes a couple sticks, takes a shot, that one right into the breadbasket of Sam Benoit, and we have another stoppage. And Pat, just looking into the season series between these two teams, Rochester, they're 2-1 against Canisius this year, and of course, doesn't take a mathematician to put it together that Canisius is 1-2 against Rochester this season. So can Rochester keep it up, or will Canisius tie up the season series and win the most important game of the bunch?
It'll be interesting to see. It's one of those things about playoff hockey. It is a cliche, but sports psychology is a hell of a drug, I'll tell you that. And it just, any team on any given night, it sounds like such a cliche, but we don't know what's going on in the locker room. And some of these guys could be determined to have the games of their life here tonight.
We're seeing definitely a feeling out process between each teams, which adds to your point, Pat. Canisius in the neutral zone. Wagner tried to make a pass on a cross for Mark Narby, but he found himself offside. So a lot of stops and starts here in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy. Narby just at the blue line, tried to hold up his run into the zone. Pass just goes off of his stick and throws the entire play offside.
Yes, absolutely. The face-off is won by Rochester in their own end. A pass intended there for Andrew Short, and the shot is on from number 14, Nick Gravel. That one's patted away from Drolet. At the red line, picking it right back up is Rochester, and they'll send it right back in off the stick of Carter Benedict. Canisius coming back the other way. It's Jonah Aherns. He'll dump it deep and chase on after it on the near side.
Might go down as a stick save for Benoit. I think it might have tipped off of his stick. Not sure, though. Either way, it's the easiest pad your stats save you'll ever make.
Absolutely, Pat. As that one is picked up by Rochester, and a stretch pass intended for Andrew Short does not find its intended receiver, so Canisius will send it back the other way. In the near side, Canisius with some offensive zone pressure here. Dumping it deep is Matt McCune. Chasing after it is Jonah Aherns on the forecheck, but Rochester continues to be the first to the puck, as they are once again. Andrew Short makes a pass out for Carter Benedict, the defenseman skating up into the play. Benedict has a drop pass intended there for for Tyler Gamble. He goes down. Nothing called.
Could have had a 3-on-2 if they hurried there a little bit, opting to take the safe play. It's early in the game. No need to force things.
Will Conley makes a pass on a cross for Jesse Calhoun. That shot misses and hits glass. It's Liam McLean makes an outlet pass for Nathan Audie. Audie tried to get it deep, but that's sent right back down the other way by John Crier. A turnover there from Liam McLean allows Canisius to take over back in the Rochester end.
Nice job by Powalski, that F1, forcing that unneeded turnover on what should have been a breakout for Rochester.
And Rochester coming back the other way. It's Michael Yochum. Yochum getting defended heavily there from Carter Benedict from Canisius. That one comes out into the slot, and that shot did not get through to Drolet. It was a one-time opportunity, and that shot is blocked as well, coming off of the stick of Alex Chernobyl.
Powalski getting in the way of that shot again. An absolute unit here on this shift.
Yeah, we've seen the commitment to defense from Canisius early on here. Negating the icing there is number 14, Tibor Sededucati, but coming back out with it is Rochester. Through neutral zone ice. On his backhand, it is number 49. Doug Smith tried to make a pass, but he'll just hang on to it. Deep in the near side corner, both teams fighting for the puck, but Canisius is the team that's able to come away with it. Sededucati tried to make a pass ahead for Mark Narby, but a good job of defending there from Alec Vent for Rochester to just push it the other way. Doug Smith takes a shot. That one goes high and comes right back out of the zone. Zach Wagner has one man to beat. Wagner goes inside out, tried to get some room on his backhand. He does. He tried to make a pass on the back door, and careening into the goal post is a Canisius player. I believe that is number 15, Michael Yochum. So first real grade A opportunity here.
And talk about putting your body on the line for the chance there. The 2-on-1 partial opportunity. Yochum just found an area on that far post to be able to make a skate through. Pass just through the seam. Doesn't get there in time, and going right into the net was the Canisius player. And that chance comes off of that missed opportunity off the RIT shot from the point. You want to elevate it, but when you're that far out, you try to keep it as low as possible and avoid and try to get a deflection in front of the goal.
Absolutely, Pat. The shot came from the point for Rochester off of the stick of Christian Loria, didn't get through. Canisius just trying to get it out. Swinging it the other way will be Zach Wagner, just trying to get it out of the end. Going down was a Canisius player. Nothing was called. And coming back out with it is the Golden Griffs, but that one is taken away by Tibor Sededucati. And we do have a delayed penalty here on Canisius, so it looks like they did pick up that tripping call.
It's RIT.
It will be on RIT, excuse me.
First penalty of the game.
Be the first penalty of the game. Brendan Reed with the extra attacker on. Makes a pass over for Matt McCune. McCune crosses the blue line, onside, dumps it deep. Fighting for it is Zach Wagner. He's able to win the puck battle on the near side and get it back to the point. Still able to hang on with it, but finally Rochester is able to gain possession. Christian Loria picking that one up. And for the first time tonight, we'll have a power play, Pat.
Nice job by that Canisius forecheck to keep that delayed penalty situation alive, as I thought it was going to be blown down when they spun it around the boards in that cycle. Kind of went it around with a little less velocity than they maybe would have wanted to. But nice move by, I think it was Wagner, to just out-muscle his man, separate him from the puck just a little bit to create it in first power play. Now they have momentum going off of that.
Robbie Ciccieri goes D-to-D with his defense partner. Dumps it deep into the near side corner where it's Sededucati. A pass out in front intended there for number 28, Jonah Aherns, misses his stick, so Canisius will recover in their own end. Skating up with it is Robbie Ciccieri on the far side. Makes a pass out on a cross for Sededucati. Ducati sent it deep into the near side, and the back pass went way too far, but a good job of getting back by Sededucati to prevent the odd man rush the other way. Sededucati skating in, past the blue line, takes a shot. That one misses high and goes into the netting with 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining on the Canisius power play here. Still a scoreless game from the Dwyer Ice Arena here in Niagara. And so we will have a line change here, as changing penalty killers will be RIT, and some personnel changes on the other side for the power play for Canisius as well. Brendan Reed wins the face-off draw back at the point. Kyle Neudorf has it. He tried to make a move around the defender, but wasn't able to do so. Zach Wagner gets it back up for Neudorf, but Neudorf gives it away to Rochester, and they'll clear it as far as neutral zone ice, and we have play whistled down. That will be a hand pass. with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining here on the power play. And the faceoff will come right back in to the Canisius end, so having to go a whole 200 feet of ice to get back into the scoring zone with, like I mentioned, just 1 minute remaining on the power play. The faceoff is won by Canisius, and they'll look to headman their way out. Connor Schwartz for Kyle Neudorf, but that one's given away and taken away by Doug Smith. He takes a shot. That one is stopped by Drolet, and the rebound nearly got through as well, but a good job of clearing things out by the Golden Griffs. Coming through neutral zone ice here, it's Kyle Neudorf. He gives the puck away once again. That's the third turnover in the last 30 seconds by Kyle Neudorf, so that will assist Rochester in killing the remainder of this penalty.
Really sloppy Canisius have been over the last minute, and Mark Narby just at the right place in the right time, right in front of the goal to prevent what could have been a shorthanded goal.
Zach Wagner takes a shot that hit the post.
Number
Wagner
2
has hit a crossbar and a post in the first 16 minutes of action. Wagner trying to pick it up in the near side. He gets heckled by a Rochester defender. That's Alec Vent battling in the corner as well. Puck comes out. That's shot by Neudorf. That one got blocked down by Benoit. The power play has come to an end. We're going to have another whistle.
I think they're going right back to another one.
Yes, Rochester is going to go right back to the penalty box. So Canisius will have another power play. And that's just, you know, it's undisciplined hockey, Pat. And you know what? When you're at the tail end of killing a penalty, the last thing you want to do is take another one.
And it looks like it's a roughing call, too. So really sloppy penalty there from RIT. Very sloppy power play for Canisius in the first minute and 30 seconds. They finally get a chance at the end with Wagner hitting a post. Now they're rejuvenated, and they're right back to another power play. So
we'll see. Jonah Aherns above the left circle takes a shot. That one comes on the near side, and nearly having a wide open net there was Seta Ducati, but getting his pad to the post was Sam Benoit for Rochester. That was a good save.
And that's one of those plays where you wish you were maybe in the Murano Campus Center. Not exactly sure how these boards play. I can't remember from when I was here a couple weeks ago, but the boards at the Campus Center are lively, and if that came out just a little bit quicker, it would have been a tap-in for Seta Ducati.
Certainly would. As Christian Loria dumps that one deep. First on it, though, for Rochester is Tyler Gamble, but he has 4 Canisius players around him, so the Golden Griffs will headman their way back up. Jonah Aherns, looking for his options, decides to make a pass onto the near side for Seta Ducati. Ends up coming back to the point for Ciccieri. Ciccieri a shot looking for a deflection, but that one's blocked down by a couple of Rochester defenders before it got through to Benoit. Anders Floric back to the point. A shot is on from Aherns. Comes back to the point. Ciccieri tried to get it back over for Aherns. Aherns trying to get a pass on the back door intended for Seta Ducati, but he wasn't ready for it. Aherns just dumps it deep. Chasing after it is Anders Floric. Seta Ducati tries to get it back up to the point, but Rochester aggressive on the kill, trying to bring it back into the zone was Robbie Ciccieri, and that will be offside.
And you'll take that offside. Tyler Gamble getting his stick in the way. Maybe thought he had a step on his defender when he actually didn't. Stripping the puck is Canisius, and you'll take that offside. It's going to stay outside the RIT zone, so reset. Change up your power play. You had a really good first shift, 52 seconds to bring it home.
Kyle Neudorf on the draw for Canisius. Wins it back to his defense partner, Connor Schwartz, but Schwartz's outlet pass gets blocked down by RIT. The puck rolls all the way to Charles Drolet, and he'll just cover it loosely.
Brendan Reed trying to take the puck away and put it into an area where it wasn't so covered off by his goaltender. Having a stop play is Drolet. 18 minutes through this one, still scoreless.
Connor Schwartz tries to wrap that puck along the wall, intended for Zach Wagner, and Wagner's able to pick it up and skate out towards the neutral zone. But first on that puck for Rochester was Roman Chernobyl. He gets it as far as the Canisius blue line. Puck comes all the way out, so Connor Schwartz will have to go back to get it. With 25 seconds remaining here on the power play, the second power play in a row for the Golden Griffs. On the near side here, it's Connor Schwartz. He's trying to do it all himself as the defenseman. Gets the puck in deep. And it comes right back up to the point where it's Brendan Reed. He takes a shot that misses wide to the short side. Back behind the net, it's Mark Narby. Narby trying to get some time and space. Has it on his backhand. Tries to put it through a defender's leg. Does so. Narby dumps it deep where it's Wagner. Wagner tried to send that one out in front but couldn't find the connection. Newdorf is there, tried to thread that one through to Wagner, but coming out with it is Rochester, having freshly killed off the penalty. Alec Vent, the defenseman, in deep for Rochester while his teammates execute a line change. Vent just trying to get himself free, but Canisius is able to read that play and get out cleanly. Wagner dumps that one to the neutral zone, only as far as Tyler Gamble, who comes back in onside, but right into a bunch of Canisius players who just send it back into the other end. Coming back up with it is Gravel. Gravel tried to get it deep with a turnover, and coming back the other way is Eric Powalski. Powalski, a pass in the middle. That shot is stopped by Sam Benoit. That one coming off of the stick, I believe that was Will Tricario, Pat.
Yeah, it was Tricarico there. Pavelski carrying it into the zone, 3-on-2 opportunity. Puck carrier gets forced outside, pass to the middle, just in the right area. Maybe had his stick check, but able to get a good shot off anyway. Benoit comes up with the stop and avoids a last-minute goal with 25 seconds to go.
Well, Conmee loses the draw for Canisius, and it'll be Alec Vent behind his own goaltender, just trying to get it out, and they do send it towards neutral zone ice. Unable to knock down that puck for Canisius was the defender, and that shot was on from Nick Gravel. Having to be attentive was Charles Drolet, but he makes the save with no issue. 7 seconds remaining in the period. Canisius is able to keep that puck on side, and they score! It's Will Tricario who kept Sam Benoit unable to close the pad, and with 4 seconds remaining in the period, Canisius grabs first ice.
But you know who the hero of that play is? Will Conmee. Carrying it into the zone, couldn't handle the pass cleanly. It squirts out to an open area where a Golden Grip is able to take it. Just splitting his leg out as far as it can go. Manages to stay onside, keeping the play alive. Tricarico picks the corner, and at 19:56, it's a one-goal game.
Beating Benoit right between the legs on that one, as that will end the first period. A little bit of a back and forth first period, but 2 power plays from the Canisius Golden Griffs. They don't execute on either of those, Pat, but right after that, with just minimal time left in the period, they get themselves on the board.
And I think it's a deserving 1-0 lead for Canisius. It has been a very even game, like we've been saying and like you've been mentioning. But Canisius has had a little bit more of those grade A opportunities. Of course, you send the team to the power play twice, you kill them off, and it's just those goals in the last minute that really hurt. You know that one stings, and you know Canisius is going to be feeling good about themselves going into the break.
Yep, they certainly are, Pat, as we will wrap things up for us, at least from the first period. We will be right back here on in our broadcast. We're going to go to the intermission, and yeah.
Oswego State ACHA YouTube Live.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to the Intermission Report here on the Oswego ACHA YouTube channel. I'm Ben Greco alongside Chris Brewster. Canisius versus RIT. Canisius takes a 1-0 lead with just 4 seconds left in the period after a Will Tricarico goal that snuck through the legs of Sam Benoit. Chris, what did you see just in general? It was pretty tight for, again, 19 minutes and 56 seconds.
Yeah, you know what? It was a lot of back and forth neutral zone play. Just both sides are getting shots. Both sides are making good opportunities. I thought Canisius was a little bit stronger, but both sides, you know, they're making it work. It's a good hockey game. It's a little slow in my opinion, but that goal at the end, that's a little exciting.
Canisius does get 2 power play opportunities, not successful on either of them, both goalies standing tall. Really, again, through, let's say, 95% of the period, just 4 seconds to go. And what was the big key there was that Canisius player, I believe it was Will Conmey, keeping his leg onside and doing the goalie splits, if you will. I always want to call it the banana splits because he has a gold jersey on.
Yeah, you know, Ben, that was one of the most athletic hockey plays, and it wasn't even directly involved with the play. He was like in a goalie.
He saved that play.
Yeah.
He saved that play.
Honestly, I think we should credit the goal to him.
Let's give him an assist. Give him an assist.
Okay. Whether or not he touched the puck, I don't know, but I think an assist will do just fine.
We are trying to get official scoring on that and official saves from both Sam Benoit and Charles Drolet, but nonetheless, NECHL quarterfinals, Chris, we weren't here for the first game, unfortunately, but it's playoff season, and we couldn't be more excited to be able to bring the remaining 4 games this weekend. Tomorrow, the 2 semifinal games, Oswego Niagara taking the first 2-round byes, and then the always infamous championship matchup.
Yep, you know, I'll be on the bench tomorrow with the Oswego boys doing my equipment duties, but it is certainly an exciting weekend we have ahead here.
And Canisius, like we said, 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. Chris, you saw the first 20 minutes. You said it was a little bit slower, back and forth. Both goalies had to make some quality saves, not a ton. There were a few here or there. I think Sam Benoit had to make a few more maybe than Charles Drolet. There were some bobbled pucks here and there. But what do you want to see in the second 20 minutes of play as RIT tries to tie it up and Canisius tries to expand on their lead? Because you got to remember, Canisius is also really the underdog here. They're number 5, RIT is number 4. What needs to happen for either side?
You know, really, it comes down to energy. I think they got to come out of this period flying. Both sides got to come out super hot. And Canisius is the more physical team right now. And RIT's got to match that. They've got to start laying hits. They've got to start playing more body. But it comes down to energy, and if you don't have that energy, you're not going to be able to excite anything. It's going to create more opportunities down low in the Canisius offensive zone. I believe it was number 14 had a couple opportunities. He had a good opportunity for
Tibor
Michigan
Sedukati,
there.
yep.
Did you see that he was going around? He had all the time and day. Like, he could have scooped it up, and that could have made it 2-0. But I think really for the second period, it comes down to energy, and we'll just have to see who, puts their right foot in front of the left and takes it from there.
Second period coming up shortly. We'll send it back to Liam and Pat after the intermission, just in about 4.5 minutes. Canisius leads 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. You're watching on Oswego State ACHA YouTube Live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dwyer Ice Arena here in Niagara, New York for the second period between the Rochester Institute of Technology Tigers taking on the Canisius Golden Griffs. Liam Gottimer here alongside Pat Machado, broadcasting NECHL playoff hockey on YouTube Live. Pat, we are 30 seconds away from the second period, and in the first, we got a goal, but it was with 4 seconds remaining, and it came off of the stick of number 12, Will Triccarico.
Yeah, coming late in that first period, just like these teams, as I don't think we're going to be ready to go in 15 seconds. As
teams haven't even made their way back out yet, but the clock says 15 seconds.
There's the goal scorers right there in Canisius. Will Triccarico. Again, it was a nice play, and while he didn't get an assist on it, I think that assist has got to go. I believe it was Wagner, and whoever had, of course, it slips my mind now. I talked about it at the end of the first.
I believe you were discussing Will Conmey.
Conmey, yes. Just that split is just that hurt watching, but it's so satisfying when a play like that leads to a goal.
Absolutely, Pat, and the pass ended up coming to Triccarico, who just had a little bit of time and space and was able to slip that one past Sam Benoit right between the legs as the two teams will switch sides, and they are back onto the ice. But Pat, outside of that, we saw 2 power play opportunities from Canisius to no avail. Besides that, how do you think each team played?
It's really hard to tell at this early point of the game. Like, it was a really slow, evenly matched period. Each team had their own chances in it and their own little bursts of speed. Canisius had a little bit better of the opportunities in alone on the goaltender, which is why I've said I was fine with that 1-0 score, but a 0-0 score would have also been very fitting to the end of that first period, and it'll be interesting to see how this continues to play out.
Yeah, and we only got there 4 seconds left in the period withstanding that did result in the goal. So it was Triccarico on the goal, and the 2 penalties both went to RIT. The first one was on Carter Benedict for a slash, and the second one was on Alec Vent for a cross-check. But once again, like we mentioned, Pat, what does Canisius have to do to convert on the man advantage this time around?
You just got to carbon copy that first shift of that second power play. That first shift was incredible. And those forecheckers down on the wall are really strong at creating those turnovers off of the RIT Tigers. And seemingly when the play's dead, they're able to do so.
Absolutely, Pat, as we are just about ready to get underway from the Dwyer Ice Arena as the puck is dropped, picked up first by Rochester, and chasing after it for the Tigers will be Randy Dodig. Picked up there by Canisius, back behind their own net. Zach Wagner tries to make a pass off for Mark Narby. Narby being heckled by a couple of Rochester players, but skating out with it is Neudorf. Neudorf on the far side makes a pass up for Wagner, who will just send it back for Connor Schwartz. Schwartz will dump it in behind Benoit. Comes back to the point where Schwartz has it, and will just be content with dumping it deep. Narby tried to swing that one back around the far side wall, but that one misses the stick of Neudorf, so that will go down on an icing for Rochester.
And it will be interesting to see when and if the pace is going to start to pick up. Obviously, it'll pick up at crunch time no matter what, because one of the teams is going to be fighting for their lives. But I thought maybe that Canisius or even RIT, one of these teams would have a jump out of the gate. And it's still early, so I'm not calling totally dead on that prediction yet, but it's always interesting to see how teams respond to those last-minute goals. Because it usually starts an avalanche or it wakes the other team up.
Yeah, there has to be a little bit of a message in the locker room. We'll see how Rochester is able to respond. Puck on the near side here. Jonah Aherns makes a pass up for Brendan Reed, who skates in on his backhand. Reed, right circle, passes across for Ciccieri. His shot, that one stopped by Benoit. A pass back out in front intended for a Canisius forward gets intercepted by Rochester, and they'll come back the other way with Joey Harris. Harris will dump it in, chasing after it. Has some room, able to keep the puck on his stick and pass off for Liam McLean. His shot intended to get towards the net mouth gets blocked down by Jonah Aherns, and going back to get it is Rochester. Rochester in their own end, trying to make a play on the puck. Vent goes D to D with his partner McLean. Brought over the line by Doug Smith. His shot, that one got tipped by Robbie Ciccieri before it got to the net. Little cross check back behind the cage by Rochester player. Nothing called on that one. The cross check coming from number 91, Zach Tominich. Skating free is Ciccieri. Tries to make an outlet pass for a teammate, but he'll just send it down the length of the ice, and that will be icing on Canisius. So the faceoff will come to the right of their goaltender, Drolet.
And it's Canisius that's really out of the gates, I guess, if you could give it to either side. And I don't know, it's still just a little too ticky-tack BC opportunities for me.
Right, neither team has really found the flow of their game early on, despite being in the second period here. Doug Smith takes a shot. That one got blocked, came right back to him, and he'll just dump it deep. Trying to make a play on it is Canisius. A good job of keeping the puck in at the line by Carter Benedict, and he'll dump it deep. Going back to get it is Tominich. Dropped off there for Chernobyl. Chernobyl behind the net. In the left circle. Passes it back to the point where it's Brad Shea. His shot doesn't get through. It's picked up once again by Chernobyl. Chernobyl trying to find Tominich. That one floats towards the front of the cage, but Drolet able to get his glove to the near side post and freeze it with 17.5 minutes remaining here in the second. Still a 1-0 game.
Again, not a lot of pace on that shot. Easy save there for Charles Drolet in net. But at least RIT is getting something going. They're getting some offensive zone draws, and something's got to come of it eventually.
Yep, just keep getting pucks on net. Good things will happen. Alec Vent takes a shot. That one got blocked down before it got through to Drolet. But able to keep it in are the Tigers. Andrew Short trying to make a pass, but Canisius is the first on that puck. Only gets it as far as the blue line, where Alec Vent's able to keep it in for Rochester. Cross corner dump intended for Andrew Short. He'll pick it up. Comes back in front of net for Gravel, but he had it on his backhand. Gravel tried to make a pass. That one went off a couple of Canisius skates, and able to clear it out are the Golden Griffs. It will not go far enough for icing, so Canisius will get that much-needed line change. Alec Vent trying to push it up for Rochester. Nick Gravel there as well, but finally, skating free with it will be Andrew Short. Chernobyl tried to make a pass out in front for Short. That one comes free for Gamble that just missed high, and that shot is in! A sharp angle shot ties the game for Rochester, just like that, 3.5 minutes in to the second period. I'm trying to find out who got that marker. As skating to the bench, that will be number 14, Nick Gravel, and I think he caught Charles Drolet by surprise on that one, beating him short side.
You talked about it literally just on the last stoppage, throwing it to the net and good things happen. The initial chance, missed that first target, but comes all the way through where Brad Shea is able to send it up and over the net, carries around. What do? You throw it onto the net, you get that lucky deflection. Now it's a 1-1 game, and is that an important goal for the Tigers?
It certainly is, Pat, as Nathan Audie skating back up with it for Rochester, just trying to get it right back into the Canisius end and build off of the momentum they were able to garner on the previous goal. Chasing after it is Joey Harris. He tries to come loose with it and send it towards the front of the net, but a good job of defending by the Golden Griffs. Canisius still trying to headman their way out with it, where it's John Creer, a pass intended there for Will Tricarico, the goal scorer for Canisius, as that one will just float in. And Pat, you were talking about it at the start of the second period. How is Rochester going to respond after giving up a goal with 4 seconds left in the period? Well, Pat, you got your response right there.
It was a nice play of passing. You would have wanted the shot to be better, and yeah, you could count those sharp angle tries as garbage goals, but they count for the same on the scoreboard anyway. I know it's such a cliche to talk about it like that, but they don't ask how, they ask how many.
That was the next words out of my mouth, Pat. Well said.
Both watch Letterkenny, I see.
Yes, definitely. Seta Ducati tries to get it up for Canisius, but keeping that one in is Rochester, but they'll be content with a line change as back come the Golden Griffs. It's Mark Narby on the near side. Tried to make a pass intended for Zach Wagner, but that one is broken up by Carter Benedict for Rochester. Comes back to the point. Ciccieri dumps it deep as Canisius has some offensive zone pressure here. It's Newdorf. Newdorf on his backhand tried to make his way through 2 defenders, but is able to maintain possession of the puck. But finally coming out with it is Rochester. It's taken here by Doug Smith. Smith tried to make his way through, but he was blocked down, but it's kept in at the point by the Tigers. It's Roman Chernobyl skating around the net. Still hangs on to the puck on his backhand, sends that one towards net, saved by Drolet. And he had to move left, right, sideways, and somehow he was able to locate that puck and make the save.
Sneaky backhand there from Zach Tominich, finding some lane to shoot through and almost picked that corner. Caught Charles Drolet off guard just a little bit. He looked off balance while making that save, and you wouldn't have expected that velocity to come off based on where the stick was and where he was going in relation to it. Nice opportunity. Good shot there by Tominich.
Faceoff is won by Canisius. Going back to get it will be John Creer on the first line of defense for the Golden Griffs, but Rochester's able to come out with it. Doug Smith has it in the far side corner. He battles against two Canisius defenders, still trying to get it, but Canisius swings it back around the wall. Where pinching in is Brad Shea for the Tigers. Shea tried to get that one to a teammate, but Connor Schwartz is able to make a good pass to Will Conmey, who tries to get it back out around the other side to no avail. And Canisius will try once again. Conmey tries another outlet pass, finally is able to swing it back out on his backhand, and coming out with it is the Golden Griffs. It's Jonah Aherns. He takes a shot from the near side wall. That's easily gloved down from Sam Benoit.
Nowhere to go, just to throw it on net, just to get something positive out of that play. Good idea. Sam Benoit coming up with an easy stop. And no team is really running away with it either. I feel like we're right back into that settle it down mode.
Jesse Calhoun gets that one deep, intended for Seta Ducati. The puck is on the near side, but it comes loose for Rochester. Skating out with it is number 9, Tyler Gamble. He tried to get the puck in deep, but sending it right back the other way was Canisius. Headmanning his way up quickly here is Chernobyl. Chernobyl in deep, sends that one towards the goal mouth, defended by the Golden Griffs, but they're only able to get it as far as the blue line. Chernobyl dumps it in, back behind the net. And a lift of the stick there from Nick Gravel. Swift takeaway there from Rochester. Alec Vent, the leading goal scorer, takes a sharp angle shot that misses, and a wraparound opportunity trying to catch Charles Drolet. Napping there was number 8, Andrew Short, and now we'll have a penalty here, as drawing a penalty is Rochester. Canisius will go to the penalty kill for the first time once they touch up. Vent holds on at the point, waiting for the extra attacker to get on. Swings it across for Chernobyl. Chernobyl gets heckled there, but able to keep it alive is Tyler Gamble. Gamble for Andrew Short. Back to the point. Slap shot. That one got through to Drolet. It hopped up in the air, but finally recovered by Seta Ducati. And now we'll have the whistle. It'll be a hooking penalty on Canisius. So to the power play goes Rochester after scoring the early goal here in the second, Pat.
And that was one of those shifts that he felt like was going to either end in a goal or a penalty, especially as you saw when Charles Drolet was caught off guard by the player behind the net who was able to put it out in front to make a good play. Taking exception after the whistle, after that play, with Seta Ducati exchanging cross checks with his man behind the goal. And frustration from Canisius leads to the first power play for RIT.
Andrew Short wins the draw for RIT. Vent gets it back up to the point. Back to Vent. That shot is on. It gets deflected before it got to Drolet. On the near side here, trying to pinch in and get it was Christian Loria for RIT, but it's cleared out by Canisius. 12 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the second period. We have a 1-1 game. Rochester evening the score early on here in this second period. Alec Vent on the near side tried to get that one deep, but Doug Smith is able to skate up with it, going through a defender's leg. That's Connor Schwartz. Gravel tried to go all the way to the front of the net, and colliding with Charles Drolet was Gamble. And Drolet is down. He is very slow to get up. I believe that there is going to be a penalty on Rochester on this play.
Yes, there will be.
Not happy with the call is Nick Gravel. Drolet seems fine as he takes his mask off and has some repairs, but Gravel will go off for goaltender interference. So we will have 4-on-4 hockey for 1:13, Pat.
Want to crash the net on the power play just to make life as uncomfortable for the goaltender as possible.
It can't be too aggressive.
Exactly. And we'll have to see what they announce it for, but you could assume it's goaltender interference, evening this up at 4. And maybe that's what this game needs, just a little bit more space on the ice to complete the passes through. Hopefully we should see more end-to-end stuff here.
And you know what, Pat, you mentioned that Canisius was a team that likes to play with grit. They like to play physical. I haven't really seen that out of them through the first 28 minutes of action.
No, I haven't either. It's other than the odd forecheck, which you could tell it's a really good part of their game, that grinding forecheck down in the corners where they have been able to create opportunities from. But no, you haven't seen those big hits where you see players shy away because you know that a freight train is coming.
Certainly, Pat. Newdorf has it in deep, sends that one back up to the point for Reed. Brendan Reed gets double teamed there. Rochester tries to come away with the puck, but keeping it in momentarily was Seta Ducati, and coming back the other way is Doug Smith on a breakaway. He shoots, he scores! Doug Smith goes right between the legs on Charles Drolet. It's a shorthanded goal. A 4-on-4 goal, and we have a 2-1 game.
And man, that's the response that you want from RIT. That is exactly how you want to respond.
Yeah, Drolet just took away the puck at the neutral zone and found himself all alone, Pat.
Again, that space, it leads to a goal, and you can feel you can bet that Gravel is feeling a little bit better about himself in the penalty box right now, as you know, I don't think he's happy with the call anyway, but certainly you're not good.
Yeah, his teammate was able to pick him up on that 4-on-4 goal, so we will remain 4-on-4 here. As maybe a little bit more open ice, maybe this game opens up a little bit. Pat, no pun intended. Taken here by Jonah Aherns. Pass intended there for Robbie Ciccieri, and he'll dump it deep. Kyle Newdorf at the point, tries to make a play with the puck, but once again taken away by Rochester, and they'll skate up. Trying to force the turnover there were the Tigers, but Canisius is able to make the pass cleanly out of their own end. Zach Wagner skating in, has some time and space, but had his stick lifted and taken right back away. On the rush, it's Tyler Gamble for Rochester. Gamble waits and decides to just swing the puck around the boards when he had no option towards net. Pass out in front for Gamble, and that one just missed past Charles Drolet. 2 grade A opportunities for Rochester. The penalty on Canisius is over, so they'll go to 5-on-4. Puck comes loose out in front. An opportunity there for Aherns. Couldn't get his shot off. Aherns has it back now on his backhand, and he'll hold on to it in the right circle. Aherns drops off for Connor Schwartz. Schwartz across to Newdorf. Down low, taken here by Reed. Reed had that one taken away, but unable to clear that one out was Loria. 2 seconds and 1 left on the RIT penalty for goaltender interference. The shot is on from Connor Schwartz. That one is sticked away by Benoit, but kept in by the Golden Griffs. Brendan Reed tried to get a shot towards net. That one was blocked down by Nick Gravel, fresh out of the penalty box, and he'll dump it in back behind Drolet. 10 minutes remaining here in the second period. A 2-1 lead for Rochester, thanks to a 4-on-4 breakaway goal here in the second period from Doug Smith. That puck sent all the way down, and this will be icing on RIT. Christian Loria on the icing on that one.
And RIT's got to settle down a little bit. Not playing scared, but maybe playing a little bit antsy. Trying to anticipate the play that's going to happen before they've taken all the necessary steps to make it happen. Trying to turn up the ice was Joey Harris. Trying to go on another shorthanded opportunity, and it leads to that last 15 seconds of power play opportunity time from the Golden Griffs that stayed in the zone. So settle down a little bit. You got the lead. No need to rush.
Coming back through neutral zone ice is Rochester, and this will be another penalty as Canisius is going to head back to the box. So everything going Rochester's way halfway through the second period. They've tied the game up early on in the second. Then they took the lead. Now they'll go to a power play.
And the scales certainly seem to be tipping towards the Tigers as a tripping call, getting the stick caught in the skates. And again, didn't really need to happen. There was a lot of traffic around that player. And yeah, you want to attack the puck, but didn't really have too much of a lane. And now it's another power play. And this time RIT has the lead.
Puck comes to the point. Gamble takes a shot. That one goes off of the stick of Drolet. Andrew Short back there as well. But coming with it is Alec Vent. Alec Vent back to the point. Gloria gets it back for Vent. Vent takes a shot. That one doesn't get through to Drolet. Vent above the right circle goes. One-timer. That one stopped coming off of the stick of Gloria. And clearing it out of the front of the net is Canisius, but keeping it in is Alec Vent. Vent tried to make a pass intended for Andrew Short, went off his skate, but able to keep it in is RIT with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining here on their power play. Vent tried to make a cross-ice pass. That one was intended for Nick Gravel on the back door, but attentive and able to glove that one down and freeze it is Charles Drolet. He's been very good in this second period. Despite giving up 2 goals, the pressure has been immense from Rochester.
Just getting a piece of that shot from the breakaway of Doug Smith, unable to keep it out of the net. And
as Nathan Audie on the draw for Rochester ends up losing it. Canisius the first one on the puck, but Rochester's able to take it away. Puck comes back to the point here. It's Joey Harris. Harris tries to make a play with the puck, sends it back towards the near side, where it's picked right back up by Rochester. Alex Chernobyl dumps it deep. Nathan Audie behind the cage on his forehand, tried to make a pass. That one did not get through. Defended well by Matt McCune for Canisius. With 40 seconds remaining here on the Rochester power play. Back to the point for Chernobyl. He shoots. That one gets a tip and gets deflected up and into the netting.
33 seconds to go on the power play for RIT. And critical kill for Canisius to finish off.
Yeah, critical kill for Canisius. They've been a little undisciplined here in this second period. Definitely would like to go to the locker room with this game at least being tied.
And keep it at a 1-goal lead, too. Neither team has had a 2-goal lead in this game.
Chernobyl takes a shot. That one floated in on Drolet. He was unable to glove it down, but luckily for him, the whistle went off before Rochester was able to pick up that loose puck.
Connor Schwartz getting in there on Nathan Audi for being a little bit too close to Drolet, and this one I have to give Schwartz some credit. Like, you have to go in and defend your goaltender. Audi was a little bit close on that opportunity. Maybe had a step that he shouldn't have had, and putting him on notice. Nice job by the referees, just telling everybody to calm down and keep it going.
Schwartz has been terrific on the back end so far in this game and all season for Canisius. As the Golden Griffs are able to get a stretch pass off, it's Will Conmey with some space. He scores! Will Conmey, it's a shorthanded goal, and we're tied at 2. He just found himself some time and space and was able to get Benoit to cheat a little bit to his blocker side. Had the puck one way, shot the other, and we're tied at 2.
Nice shot there by Will Conmey. Very well placed into the corner of the net, and shorthanded goal for Canisius. And that really changes the complexion of this game. You thought RIT was beginning to find their bus legs there a little bit. Ice starting to tilt. Shorthanded goal, right back to even, and Canisius.
And that shot is on from Tyler Gamble. Sorry to interrupt you, Pat, but right back the other way came Rochester. And they still have 10 seconds of power play time to work with. But, Pat, you talked about in the first period, Will Conmey, the effort that he had on the first goal of this game. Now he comes back in the second period with his team really needing him, tying it up.
And it's always great to see the helper get rewarded.
As Carter Benedict's shot is swallowed up by Drolet.
Because those are the types of things that don't get recorded on the score sheet. Those little things, the things that create the play and set it up beyond those 2 last touch of the pucks for your primary and your secondary assists. And when you can find the score sheet after doing something like that, it's certainly something that gets your night going. And those are the players that you need. It's playoffs time. You have to have a difference maker.
And an opportunity and a goal for Rochester. A takeaway, and depositing it is the back of the net is Nick Gravel. And it's a 3-2 hockey game. So how about that? Nick Gravel takes the goaltender interference penalty, a little bit overzealous. Right back on the next shift, not so. Drives the net, is able to pick up that rebound opportunity, and now it's a 3-2 Rochester lead. After a, I guess you could say, mundane first period, it's been nothing but fireworks here in the second.
Yeah, when you talk about this period being mundane, that's 2 goals in 17 seconds coming back-to-back, exchanged by the Canisius Golden Griffs and RIT. And we're right back where we started.
Right.
Before Canisius was able to equalize. Big pass.
And stretch pass here. It's number 17, Eric Powalski. He takes a shot. That one got blocked down by Chernobyl. Chernobyl trying to make a play with the puck, and Andrew Short will skate out. Pass intended there for Tyler Gamble gets sent back the other way by Canisius as they try to respond. Gamble gets it as far as neutral zone ice, where Seta Ducati tries to get it deep for the Golden Griffs. Chasing after it is Eric Powalski. In on the forecheck, trying to force a turnover, and they do. Canisius takes it away. A pass intended into the slot. That was intended for Seta Ducati, didn't get through. Good defensive play by Rochester. Coming back the other way is Gamble. He tries to make a move around a defender, but thwarting that out is Canisius. Matt Jarkowski for the Golden Griffs going in deep. Goes 1-on-2, is able to come away with the puck. Able to get it back to the point where it's McCune. McCune taking a shot. That one went wide, sent back out in front, and that chance coming from Jarkowski didn't get through.
Pass too strong on the blade of Jarkowski.
Will Tricarico sends one out in front, and that one is patted away by Benoit. Terrific save, best save of the night for the Rochester goaltender, robbing Canisius point blank on that one.
See, now it has opened up a little bit. Now these teams are getting going, looking for that stretch pass opportunity.
And now another takeaway and a shot. That one misses wide to the short side. That came off of the stick of Tricarico, the goal scorer for Canisius. One of the 2 goal scorers, excuse me. Back the other way comes Rochester. A shot. That one is stopped by Drolet, trying to go between the legs one more time. Were the Tigers, but closing it up and saying no way is Charles Drolet. And now we can take a breath, Pat.
And that was a really good decision by the defenseman to cover that passing lane, as it looked like he was going to go attack the shooter, trust his goaltender in Drolet, and we remain at a 1-goal game after all the craziness in these last couple minutes.
It has been bedlam here in the last couple minutes. That's why we love hockey, right, Pat? As that one is sent all the way down by Canisius and beating out the icing. The extra effort from Jonah Ahern's able to negate that.
I'm not sure I agree with that call.
It was 50-50, Pat, but Jonah Ahern's gets awarded for his efforts, as keeping it in is Canisius. Ahern's sends a back pass. That shot went wide of Benoit. Pinching in is Connor Schwartz. A pass intended to go out in front doesn't get its intended receiver, as Ahern's still has it on the near side, trying to keep it in, and they do. It's Brendan Reed. Reed on his forehand, circles around the net, sends one towards the front, blocked down by a couple of Rochester defenders, and sprawling out to cover the puck and freeze play is Sam Benoit with 4:40 remaining here in the second period. 3-2 Rochester.
And I really like how Canisius is playing, especially these last couple minutes, too. It's unfortunate that they fell behind because they're skating just a little bit faster. They're beating the Tigers out to every single puck. They have great spatial awareness to know where they can put it in the zone if you need to buy a little extra time. And look at it right now. Like, the possession stolen away by Canisius, and you're creating that chance after RIT had possession.
Great chance from Kyle Newdorf taking that puck away. The shot came from the point from McCune. That was sticked away from Benoit. Behind the cage, Rochester trying to come up with it, and they will. Pass coming from Tominich gets intercepted by Canisius, and they come right back the other way. That shot is a whistling wrister coming off of the stick of Seta Ducati. That one goes high over the glove of Benoit. Rochester just trying to skate and do anything they can as a huge hit on the near side coming from Zach Tominich. Going down was Matt McCune, but both get up in an instant. Doug Smith, one of the goal scorers for Rochester, goes between the legs, has it on his backhand, send that one towards the cage. Drolet was able to block that one down, and coming back the other way is Canisius. Zach Wagner at the end of his shift tries to come up on that loose puck, and he ends up gaining possession of it. Wagner tried to make a cross-ice pass intended for a teammate, but it's taken away by Alec Vent for Rochester, who will just dump it down. We do have a delayed penalty here. It will be a slash. It will be on Canisius. So back to the power play goes Rochester. So Pat, what did you see on that last play?
And might get a misconduct after.
There was some words spoken from the bench towards the referees. Maybe we get an extra misconduct, but it doesn't look like we are going to get that. It's just going to be the standard 2 minutes. So Rochester, they get another chance on the power play, third of the period.
And that's good to see, referees being a little bit more thick-skinned here in the playoffs. Certainly you don't want to take any sort of blatant abuse, but anytime you can not insert yourself in the game where it's not needed is very much appreciated.
Nick Gravel at center point gives that one away, and Canisius might have some numbers. It's taken here by Powalski. He shoots, and that one is stopped by Sam Benoit. He did not know where the puck was. It did not sneak through.
I thought it might have for a second. That was a good shot by Pavelski, somehow able to get it through, and I think that was maybe saved by the armpit of Benoit as just needing to close it up. It was a really awkward save for him. And
kept the puck out of the net. That's all that matters, right?
Thought they were going to talk about something. Celebrating was Pavelski.
And we do have a player bleeding, so that's why in the box, in the penalty box, we have a player bleeding. It's McCune. So he's getting attended to, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Sam Benoit with still 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining in the Rochester power play. We just saw a terrific shorthanded opportunity coming on the other side from Canisius.
I think each team might be getting a little content when they have their power plays because there have been way too many shorthanded chances and plays behind the line when you think that the team controlling possession would have an advantage. And
just a little lazy with the puck at points.
Exactly.
Not tightening things up at the point, allowing the aggressiveness of the penalty killers to really get up and force turnovers. And that's really been the storyline of this game, Pat. Each team turning the other team over, and those odd man rush opportunities coming back to haunt each team.
And there is another person in the box now. I'm not sure if it's the treat.
I think it's just because McCune is bleeding, so they just wanted to get another player in the box.
Potentially, if they do send him to the locker room for repairs. It seems odd. I mean, like, obviously, like, not disputing at all, but a little bit of a delayed reaction there from the red blood cells of the world, if that indeed is what it is.
And that's Alexander Reyes in the penalty box. He's waiting for some confirmation from either the referee or his coach as to what's going on, but it looks like Reyes will stay in the penalty box alongside his teammate Matt McCune. So we'll have that figured out momentarily as
maybe just wanting to get the play moving.
Yep, and the puck will be dropped here. It is Mark Narby, I believe. No, not Narby, excuse me. That's Tricarico on the draw for Canisius, but he loses it. And RIT is able to resettle with still 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining on their man advantage. Skating up with it is Alec Vent, the leading goal scorer for the Tigers. Along the far side here, skating in with it is Andrew Short. Excuse me, that's Christian Loria, who passes off for Short. Alec Vent on the far side on his backhand, gets checked along the wall by Eric Powalski. But the puck comes free for Gamble. Gamble tries to go for Vent. Vent has it, passes on across, and unable to corral the puck on his stick was Nick Gravel. He had a wide open net. Sprawled out was Charles Drolet.
A wide open net, and his second goal on the game, just on his stick, begging to be put into the back of the net, and just a little bit off kilter and losing control of his footing. Allows Canisius time to recover, and that is a big missed opportunity for the Tigers to go up by 2.
Yeah, the next goal in this game is going to be crucial, Pat, as you just mentioned. That could have made it a 4-2 game. Canisius is able to get another one. This game will be tied, so we shall see how it plays out. A pass in the middle intended for Vent gets there. Vent on the far side. In the left circle, tries to make a play, tries to go over for Gravel, gets it on his tape. Gravel looking for a deflection, went off of the stick of Gamble, and it gets tipped wide. Gamble holding on to it, looking for short, comes out to Gravel his shot. That one doesn't get through. It's blocked down by Ciccieri for Canisius. Another shot from Gravel. That one is caught in the breadbasket from Charles Drolet. So Gravel, he missed that one opportunity, had 3 pretty good ones on the next shift.
And RIT is moving the puck really well in response now. Almost lucky to get that face-off is Canisius. Payoff on that last shot. You would have wanted it to be a little more for the Tigers. Kind of a gift for Drolet to be able to stop play at whim like that, get the penalty killers changed, but really good shift by that power play unit.
Roman Chernobyl on the face-off for RIT up against Jonah Ahearns for Canisius. Ahearns leaves the winner, and Canisius is able to dump it all the way down, and that will pretty much kill the remaining penalty killing time for the Golden Griffs. Played here by Chernobyl for RIT as we are back to full strength. Chernobyl skating in, trying to go through 2 defenders, is able to get himself loose, attempted a backhand pass. That one's blocked down, but RIT is able to maintain possession of the puck. Chernobyl trying to do it all himself. Passes off to his brother behind the net. Back out in front. Pass intended there for Joey Harris, but taken away by Canisius. Jonah Ahearns is there. Kyle Newdorf is there as well, as we have a minute remaining here in the second period. If you're just joining us, 3-2, Rochester. Liam Gottimer here alongside Pat Machado. Shot coming from the point. That one is caught easily off of the stick of Robbie Ciccieri for Canisius. And with 47 seconds remaining, Pat, what does Canisius have to do to have a solid end to the period?
Honestly, just get out. It sounds so
Besides
dumb, but
score a goal.
no, just get out of the period without giving up another.
Right.
Don't want to go down by 2. It would be the largest lead of the game. They've been trading goals since the beginning, and it's a much easier task on the mind to come back from a 1-goal deficit coming out of the break when both teams are fresh, and you don't want to be chasing the game in the critical early part of the third period. 1 goal makes it a lot easier for Canisius.
Wagner tried to make a pass for Seta Ducati, but it's taken away by the Tigers, and they come right back up the near side. Tyler Gamble, pass intended for Nick Gravel, who's been all over the place early on in this one. Gravel trying to keep that puck in, but Canisius tried to flip it out. Gravel touches it down with a high stick. Neither wants to touch the puck, but Canisius will. Zach Wagner skating through. Makes a pass off there for Ciccieri. Ciccieri tried to swing that one back in front of the cage with 2 seconds and 1, and that will end the second period from the Dwyer Ice Arena here in Niagara, New York. It's a 3-2 game. Rochester, they're now leading despite being down 1-0 at the end of the first, Pat.
And Rochester looked like they had their backs against the wall at the turning point going into this second period, especially when Gravel, who had the game-tying goal on his stick, goes into the net, gets a goaltender interference call just for Alec Vent to come and finish the job, tie it up. Gravel gets out of the box and makes it a lead for RIT, and the ice has been tilted since then. Canisius has been able to hang with RIT just like teams were hanging with each other in period number 1. A much more exciting second period with goals coming in the span of 17 seconds in the middle. And again, it's a really fitting scoreline for a really fitting game. It's an even game between these two sides, and it's really a matter of who has momentum last, who has the hammer at the right time, and what can you do with it when you have the momentum. If it goes to waste, you might just end up losing this game.
Absolutely, Pat. Just to recap the goal scoring before we send you out to the intermission report, Nick Gravel tied the game for Rochester. Then a 4-on-4 breakaway goal, as Pat mentioned, from Doug Smith. And then it was Will Conmey. He got himself on the board as well to bring this back to a 1-goal game. That's going to be it for the second period. We're going to send it to a quick break. Then it's going to be back to the intermission report, where it is going to be Ben Grieco and Chris Brewster. You are watching NECHL playoff hockey on YouTube Live.
Hello and welcome to the second period intermission report here for the NECHL playoffs here on YouTube Live. I'm Ben Greco. We thought it was going to be Chris Brewster, but we got Liam Gottimer instead, the play-by-play man tonight. Liam, it was a one-goal game, and now it's 3-2, a goal fest, and it seemed like when Chris Brewster and I were talking about RIT needed to find that energy, it seemed like they found it.
Take what you saw in the first period and just completely flip-flop it around. We saw a little bit of a mundane, slow first period. Both teams were feeling each other out, trying to get a little bit of momentum, but in the second period, that's when the penalties were starting to be taken, and that's when the goals started to go on the board.
RIT takes a 3-2 lead, and originally they tied it up in kind of a weird goal. The original shot was a nice save by Charles Drolet, and then it was just a weird shot that I don't think he was expecting.
Yeah, it was Nick Gravel on that shot for Rochester. Just a turnaround opportunity, and I think it kind of, kept Drolet a little bit by surprise. He was just a little bit, not ready for that shot, unable to close the pads, and he was able to get Rochester right back into the game.
And then Canisius once again ties the game up, and he just goes back and forth and back. Even though the goals are coming now, it's still a back and forth game.
Right, yeah, it was Will Conmey for Canisius, who was just able to get a little bit of time and space on the right side during the 4-on-4 and was just able to sneak that one through Benoit. So good response from Canisius, but then Rochester, how do you respond when the game is tied? Come right back and get another one, and they were able to do just that with a breakaway goal coming from Doug Smith, just beating Drolet right between the pads.
And Drolet still making some incredible saves. Nonetheless, obviously the three rough goals to make it 3-2, but making some incredible saves still. Obviously, Canisius had some lucky breaks, but really some unlucky breaks that cost them. As
good as Rochester was in that second period, Canisius really had a difficult time working with the puck. They turned it over a lot, and it forced Drolet to make some terrific saves on the other end. So like he said, he was their best player in that period. They're going to need a bounce-back effort if they want to win this one in the third.
Third period just about underway, about to be underway, rather, here at the Dwyer Ice Arena. Thanks for tuning in to the Intermission Report. We'll see you after the game for the postgame. We'll send it back to Liam Pat momentarily.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back inside the Dwyer Ice Arena here in Niagara, New York, for the third period between the RIT Tigers and the Canisius Golden Griffs. Liam Gottimer here. Alongside me is Pat Machado. And Pat, the first period was a little mundane. It was a little bit slow. Both teams were attempting to find their bus legs, as you alluded to. But in the second period, that completely turned around. Penalties were taken and goals were put up on the board. And we enter this third period with RIT up 3-2, despite being down 1-0 at the end of the first.
Yeah, the floodgates had certainly opened for both teams after a relatively short offensive first period. The offense finally gets going. Teams are starting to take some chances. I don't know if they're getting more confidence in their play, or it's the real defining factor of this game is when one team goes down, the bounce back from the other team has been there, it's been present, it's been strong. And I really think it's going to be a game of who blinks first.
And we shall see who blinks first as we are underway in the third period. Puck played by Jonah Aherns, dumping it deep behind Benoit. Rochester is able to get to the puck and swing it back towards neutral zone ice, where it's dumped in by Robbie Ciccieri for Canisius. Coming away with the puck is Nick Gravel, but he left it behind him. And a giveaway where Canisius is able to make something out of nothing here. As attempting to skate out is Chernobyl. Alec Vent there as well. And he'll just poke that one along the near side, try to get it out, but it only goes as far as the Canisius line. Coming out with it is Andrew Short for RIT. Short will dump that one in, and they'll chase after it. Trying to get to that puck was Tyler Gamble, but covering it up was Charles Drolet. And with 53 seconds gone by in here in the first period, we have our first whistle. And Pat, after that second period, throughout the first 53 seconds of this third period, not a lot to talk about, but Rochester, most of the play has been in the Rochester end. The Tigers able to get it in the Canisius end for the first time in the frame. Coming back up with it is Neudorf, trying to skate through neutral zone ice. But Zach Wagner will have to go back and pick it up for the Golden Griffs in his own end. Wagner, the captain of Canisius, skating on the near side, collides with his own player, Kyle Neudorf, which allows Rochester to pick the puck right back up. Skating up with it is Harris. Tried to make a pass across to a teammate, but Canisius reads that one well. Pass intended for Zach Wagner, but he falls down at center ice, so it's just dumped in back behind Drolet.
That no-look backhand pass just a little bit out of the way of Chamberlain.
John Creer makes a pass for Wagner, but Wagner had that one taken away. And RIT will reset in their own end. Brad Shea skating up with it. Shea trying to reach the blue line, tried to dump it in, but sent it off his own player's skate. And finally, Rochester does get it deep. Zach Tominich swings it back behind the cage. Tominich tries to take it away, leads to a turnover, but Canisius is able to skate free with it. An outlet pass from Connor Schwartz. Tried to find Chris Fiorella as Canisius crosses the blue line, takes a shot. That one coming off of the stick of Will Tricarico, one of the goal scorers for the Golden Griffs, but it goes high and into the netting. With 17 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in the third period. If you're just joining us, Liam Gottimer here alongside Pat Machado for this NECHL playoff coverage here on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Andrew Urban at the point takes a shot. That one is sticked away by Benoit. And coming back the other way is Tyler Gamble. Gamble runs into a few Canisius defenders, so he'll be content with just dumping it deep. A pass from Eric Powalski tried to find Jesse Calhoun, but it missed his tape, and it will go all the way down for an icing. The face-off back into the Canisius end. As face-off will be to the left of Drolet. And going into the face-off circle will be Andrew Short for RIT. Short loses the face-off as Canisius will be the first on the puck, but a good takeaway there by Nick Gravel to keep it into the end for Rochester. A pass on a cross, and in the net mouth, trying to get a stick on it, and it's in! Rochester gets the goal, and it's a 4-2 game. It was a terrific pass on a cross by Nick Gravel to the other side. The initial shot did not get its way past Drolet, but they just kept whacking and whacking at the puck, and eventually they get it to cross the goal line, and the Tigers take a 4-2 advantage.
And it's El Capitan leading the line back to the bench. The RIT Tigers' largest lead of the game in this 4-2 contest. Very close in on goal, and when you get those massive humanities in front, you just hope that, number one, you find the puck if you're the goaltender, or number two, the referee loses sight of it. Neither of those things happen until it's in the back of the net, and that's really rough if you're Canisius.
It is really rough. That is a back-breaking goal if you are the Golden Griffs, but still a lot of time to work with. Over 16 minutes remaining in the final frame. You got to get one back now, and Pat, you talked about it, the rebound opportunity as that one's passed down in front, and what a save made by Sam Benoit on the mini 2-on-1 for Canisius, keeping this a 2-goal game.
Just diving from the goal line to the top of the crease is Benoit to cut that off, blocking the shot attempt and a pass attempt that could have gone across. Nice job by Benoit to fall on the puck, get the offensive zone draw just minutes after you open up the lead, and that's what you need. You need that shutdown D.
And that shot is stopped by Benoit. The puck remains loose as Canisius trying to have a rebound effort here after giving up that fourth goal. Will Conley, one of the goal scorers for Canisius, tries to get it deep, as we will have a delayed penalty here. It will be on RIT. And now we have play whistled down with Canisius having the puck. So we'll see what the referees have in mind. The near side referee did whistle for a cross check, so that is the infraction, and it will be on RIT, and it will be on Liam McLean. So to the power play goes Canisius here, and a big-time man advantage opportunity, Pat. Down 2 goals, Canisius needs to get one back now.
Yeah, it's not do or die just yet, but you certainly want to be thinking of it that way if you're Canisius. Don't take any stupid chances, but don't let an opportunity pass you by. If it's there, you got to take it. Be aggressive on this power play.
Connor Schwartz at the point. Passes one off for Brendan Reed. He tried to make a cross-ice pass that didn't get through. As going down is Newdorf. He got cross-checked from Doug Smith. Nothing called on that play, and back comes Rochester towards the other end, shorthanded. Rochester has it, neutral zone ice. Plays it back for Chernobyl, and he'll just dump it all the way down, back behind Drolet. Drolet picks it up, passes off to Kyle Newdorf, who tries to elude some oncoming forecheckers for Rochester and make an outlet pass out to Brendan Reed. Reed on the near side on his backhand goes all the way around the net. Back to the point where it's Schwartz. Looking for a lane to the net, instead passes it off to Reed. Reed back to Schwartz. Schwartz looking for a lane, gets one, takes a shot. That one is stopped by Benoit, and the clearing attempt gets past the outstretched stick of the Canisius defender, Connor Schwartz. And they'll have to work their way back up another 200 feet with 52 seconds remaining in the Golden Griffs power play. Nearly a shorthanded opportunity there for Tyler Gamble, who was hanging, but he was unable to get a stick on it. But Gamble is able to get to it again. Gamble in neutral zone ice, just killing as much time as he possibly can before it's taken away by Newdorf for Canisius. Newdorf on the near side as the Golden Griffs just look to get it deep. A cross-ice pass finds its intended receiver. A shot by Wagner goes wide of the blocker of Benoit. Jesse Calhoun switches with Seta Ducati. Back to the point, it's Ciccieri. Back for Seta Ducati. He shoots. That one went wide, but kept in at the line nicely by Jonah Aherns. Rochester, however, is going to be the first to the puck as they attempt to clear out, but kept in again by Aherns towards the net mouth. One chance save, another opportunity hits iron, coming off the stick of Seta Ducati. Remember that one. As Rochester is able to get to the puck and clear it as far as the red line as the power play for Canisius is over. But Pat, it did not come without some big-time opportunities.
Especially at the end there, did it ever? And Canisius just unable to follow it up after that one little chance. But those are the types of chances that either get a team going or keep them back a little bit. If no matter it's how they respond that's really going to determine this, because that was some beautiful chances there.
Certainly, Pat. It's the puck played in the near side here. Excuse us, we've been getting it wrong all game. It actually is Eddie Abrams in net. Excuse us. Apologies for that for Rochester. As played here by Robbie Ciccieri. Tries to get it deep for Will Conmey, and they do. Conmey takes a shot that hits the outside of the net. Alec Vent is there for Rochester. Vent just trying to get it out as Canisius is heavy on the forecheck, and they'll skate out with it. It's Nathan Audie. Audie tries to go around the defender, takes a shot. That one's patted away by Drolet. And Canisius has it in their own zone. Robbie Ciccieri makes a pass along the near wall for Eric Powalski, but that one's kept in by Chernobyl for RIT, and he'll just dump it deep before going for a change. Doug Smith is there for Rochester, one of the goal scorers for the Tigers tonight. That one is flipped back towards center ice by Canisius. A big check coming from Eric Powalski allows the Golden Griffs to dump it all the way down on Eddie Abrams. Zach Tominich skating up with it through neutral zone ice. Andrew Short tried to get a stick on it. Christian Loria there as well, but finally dumping it deep is Zach Tominich. for Canisius. Pass towards the middle. That one's intercepted by RIT, and a big check in center ice. That came from Chris Fiorella for Canisius, trying to amp up the aggressiveness here. Down 2 goals, nearly at the halfway point of the third period. Odd man rush opportunity if they hurry for Canisius, but getting back on defense nicely is Rochester. A pass intended there for Matt Jarkowski. Couldn't lay down on his stick, so it'll come out back towards center ice. Anders Floric dumps it deep. Brad Shea trying to elude him and does so, sending Floric all the way down to the ice. But Canisius is able to take it away, and they come back with speed. It's Jonah Aherns. Aherns tried to bring that puck from his backhand to his forehand in deep, was unable to do so, and back comes Rochester with a head of speed as Tyler Gamble. He has his defender beat, but sliding down to prevent the pass is Robbie Ciccieri on the defense there. A little bit of a tongue twister on that last name. My apologies. Dan Zaccarini dumps it deep for Canisius. Joey Harris there for Rochester, just rebounding in his own end. As 2 players collide, 2 Canisius players collide with one another. But the puck comes back for Chernobyl. For Rochester, but taken away, a giveaway. It's Jonah Aherns, tried to make a pass on across for Conmee, but getting down to block, that was the defender for Rochester. Another chance out in front in the goal mouth. Sprawled out is Eddie Abrams, but nothing got through as he lost his stick momentarily.
Nice stick by Carter Benedict to get hit in the passing lane, and you just need to elevate that puck to get it up and over the stick. He thought he had a little bit more time than he did, and just a nice block at the right time to prevent that puck from getting over to the weak side.
Connor Schwartz tried to make a pass up for his teammate, but that one's taken away by Alec Vent in his own end for Rochester, but coming right back up with it is Canisius. It's Connor Schwartz. He passes across for Wagner. That shot right into the glove of Eddie Abrams. Big time save on the leading goal scorer for Canisius.
Big save and a nice one by Eddie Abrams, sliding across from post to post to cover off the streaking Wagner. Easy stop for him because he was able to take away the angle, and at that point you might as well throw it on net. You already made the decision. You telegraphed it. Get the draw.
Kyle Newdorf on the draw for Canisius. Loses it to Roman Chernobyl, and skating their way out will be Rochester. It's Doug Smith. Doug Smith makes a pass on across. That shot is blockered down by Drolet. Excuse me. Picked back up here by Wagner. He gets tripped down, nothing called. Rochester the other way. It's number 91. It's Zach Tominich. His shot goes right into the breadbasket of Drolet with 9 minutes, 1 second remaining here in the third period. Still a 4-2 game. If you're just joining us, Liam Gottimer here alongside Pat Machado for NECHL Playoff Hockey on YouTube Live.
And a slapper coming from the point. Very low one. Another aggressive stop made by Drolet as that rolling puck just snatching it out from the ice. And got to get going if you're Canisius.
Tibor Seta-Ducati coming in on the far side. He loses an edge. Comes back to the point. One-time chance right off the wall from Connor Schwartz is gloved down.
Safe play being made by Eddie Abrams in net. I think that one might have been going over.
Might have been going over the top of the net, but we shall see. Face-off is won by Canisius. And coming back the other way are the Golden Griffs. Poked on ahead by Rochester. Trying to make his way out with it is Andrew Short against the hardcore defending of Connor Schwartz, and they're able to get themselves loose. That pass sent out in front, intended for Nick Gravel, unable to make the connection with his stick. That shot coming from the point off of the stick of Carter Benedict is gloved down by Drolet.
Nice idea. A little bit of traffic in front. Doesn't really cause much problems for Drolet at the end of the day. And
yeah, easy save for Drolet. As the faceoff will be right to the left of the aforementioned goaltender for Canisius. Brendan Reed tried to make a pass out on a cross for Newdorf. He's got it on his forehand. Newdorf swings it back for Zach Wagner, the captain of this Golden Griffs team. Shot coming from the point. That's off the stick of Andrew Urban. Got a tip, but just missed it wide. Loose puck is picked up by Alec Vent, and Vent tries to spring Joey Harris, but that one is taken away in neutral zone ice by Canisius, who will just dump it down behind Eddie Abrams. Puck still here in the near side corner. Chernobyl. But it comes out here for Newdorf. Newdorf sent one out in front. Wagner with a chance. He scores! Zach Wagner had an opportunity out in front of the cage. Got Eddie Abrams to open up the legs and just slid it right between the 5-hole. We got a 1-goal game, Pat.
And finally, Wagner finds the back of the net for Canisius after threatening multiple times this game. Created by the pass from Kyle Newdorf. Nice pass by him. And the patience, the poise from Zach Wagner to outweight Eddie Abrams and find himself with an angle, creating it himself by his patience. And that's critical for Canisius, as they have 7 minutes left in this game to tie it up. And that you average that out with the 2 goals. You have to score once every 4 minutes. If they didn't get going quick, it would have been real trouble. Now they have time to play their game and not play to the game of the clock.
They needed to score on that extended offensive zone opportunity, and they did just that, coming off the stick of their captain, Zach Wagner. Puck comes out in front. Another opportunity for Canisius. That's Will Tricarico, but that one was blockered down by Abrams. And coming back the other way is Rochester. It's Liam McLean, the defenseman pinching in for the Tigers. Doug Smith has it. He tried to make a backhand pass, but coming out with his Canisius, it's going to be a 2-on-1. It's Tricarico. Tricarico passed out on a cross, and Conmee was unable to get it past, and the rebound shot went wide as well, as we have a little fisticuffs in the far side corner there. We have Roman Chernobyl getting into it, I believe, with number 28, Jonah Aherns, as the referees are able to break that one up. What a wild sequence there, Pat.
Crazy sequence, and we had the tying goal there, and I don't even think that hit his stick. I think it might have went off of his skate or maybe overskated it. The pass across was really well placed and just unable to propel it in enough force to beat Eddie Abrams. And going to see the penalties come up with on board as a result of that skirmish. I think it's just going to be coincidental minors, so 4-on-4. And you know what? I think this benefits Canisius at this point of the game. And certainly you don't want to cheer your players taking on penalties, but it certainly helps, especially if they're able to sustain this level of pressure. You take one man away, take one defender off, you can catch them off on an odd man opportunity, and you might be able to have a little bit more time on those situations that way.
And we've seen Canisius being able to find a little bit more of their legs here in the third period, especially towards the latter half. So perhaps the 4-on-4, a little bit more open ice, will work to their advantage, like you mentioned.
I don't know if Rochester is playing a park a bus strategy, but they certainly seem to have taken their feet off the gas.
Robbie Ciccieri passes one off for Kyle Newdorf. Back on the other side here for Seta Ducati. He fans on his shot, but maintains possession of the puck. Seta Ducati at center point, now goes to the right circle. Wagner at the point. Tried to make a pass over for Ciccieri, but that one is telegraphed by Rochester and sent deep. Newdorf in his own end, goes between his own legs to elude the Rochester defender. Makes his way towards neutral zone ice and passes it across to Seta Ducati. Seta Ducati tried to make a swift pass between two defenders' legs to Wagner, but that one is taken away by Tyler Gamble, who will just pass it back to his defender, Christian Loria, killing off more 4-on-4 time.
Nice discipline there by RIT, able to realize that the puck was coming over to the bench, avoid the too many men call, as that one might have been close.
Zach Wagner for Connor Schwartz. Schwartz sends it back behind the net for Wagner. Neudorf there as well. Neudorf tried to swing it back behind the cage. That puck is sent out in front. Wagner has some time and space and tied up defensively. Alec Vett made the play. Trying to make himself free was Wagner. He got a shot off. There is going to be a penalty coming up here on Rochester. A backhand opportunity out in front for Seta Ducati is stopped by Eddie Abrams. And Zach Wagner doing it all to try and get his team back in the game. Had some 2 grade A opportunities on that last shift and drew the penalty as well.
Zach Wagner and Kyle Neudorf flashing the backhand there on Eddie Abrams. And just what an individual effort all game from Zach Wagner for the golden flashes, golden griffs. There it is. There's a lot of goldens in college hockey, but just he's been on top of it all game, and drawing that penalty like you don't come away from it with nothing. And now you have a 4-on-3 power play. Very rare. Next 36 seconds, there's going to be a lot of space to get those pucks through seams, and this face-off becomes absolutely critical.
It will be on the draw. It will be Brendan Reed, and alongside him will be Will Conmee, Tibor Seta Ducati, and finally Robbie Ciccieri. But winning the faceoff is Rochester. That's a huge faceoff win, able to get possession and send it all the way down the 200 feet of ice.
Gonna maybe have 20 seconds if they move it up the ice, but I think they're gonna
just trying to reset, get players where they want them to be. As the pass off here for Conmee, he gets it right at the blue line. He'll dump it deep, and chasing after it will be Robbie Ciccieri. Tibor Seta Ducati there as well. Brendan Reed set up for the one-timer, but the shot was on from Ciccieri. Had the one-time opportunity on the other side if he decided to go that route. Instead, just sent it towards the net, and Abrams was able to glove it down with ease.
Might have not been looking at the clock. I think they wanted to get that one off just before the the penalty expired to bring it back to a 5-on-4 power play. And it results in a relatively routine stop for Abrams.
And that will happen in 2 seconds. So the faceoff is won by Canisius. Connor Schwartz at right point. Far side half wall. That one sent out in front. Abrams was able to make the stop. Didn't have possession of the puck, but the net did come off its moorings. That's why we have the whistle with 4 minutes, 21 seconds remaining here in regulation. It's a 1-goal game. Canisius is down 1, and they have a minute and 19 seconds of power play time to work with in an attempt to tie this game.
Martin Arby parked on that doorstep on the stick side post of Eddie Abrams, whacking away at the puck, just nowhere to shoot through, and eventually the player gets taken out into the net.
How about that aggressiveness from Tyler Gamble for Rochester on the penalty kill to get right up in Connor Schwartz's grill and get that puck out of the zone. Puck comes loose for Short. He wastes no time to send that one on net, and that one is sticked away by Drolet. And coming back up with it is Canisius. Just under a minute left in the power play. Just under 4 minutes remaining in regulation. Shot is on from the far side from Brendan Reed. Gobbled up by Eddie Abrams.
Nice save there by Abrams. Getting a change in personnel. 47 seconds left on this power play. And will RIT come out with a little bit of power after this power play is over? I'm not sure. And this 1-goal lead, it's looking very weak.
It is at the moment, but Robbie Ciccieri gave that one away to Doug Smith. And Smith came in shorthanded, tried to make a play, but coming right back up with it is Canisius. Zach Wagner, pass over for Neudorf. Neudorf on the far side on his backhand. Went back to the forehand. It's Ciccieri at the point. He takes a shot. Got a deflection from Wagner. That one went wide of the pad of Eddie Abrams. Narby swings that one along the wall. Ciccieri back at right point. Tries to get it towards the middle where it's Wagner, but picked up here by Narby. Back to the point, it's Ciccieri right out of the penalty box for Rochester. They have to get a shot on now, and they do, and they score, and it's Zach Wagner again. His second of the game. We are tied here in Niagara.
His second goal of the game, and by far the prettiest. Power play expiring. Shot coming from the point as the person out of the box was just skating back into the play. Forced to make a move, thrown into the middle. What a deflection, and
And that was,
I don't think that was high, and I'm certainly not going to get a look at it. RIT certainly lobbying the refs as much as they could, and why not? That's just gamesmanship right there. But, oh my, Zach Wagner.
It didn't look like a high tip to me. It looked like he did get his stick beneath his shoulders and, more importantly, below the crossbar. So this goal should count.
What a pretty goal, though.
And Zach Wagner just doing everything, and it was Ciccieri at the point who tried endless amounts to try and get that puck towards the front of the net. He wasn't able to do so on his first couple of chances, but you keep trying, and finally they were able to get the deflection goal. Zach Wagner with his second goal of the period, bringing Canisius single-handedly back into this game. Nick Gravel skating in, his shot hits the netting, and we have a stoppage here with 2 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in regulation in a 4-4 game. Pat, what do you see?
And you talk about those unsung heroes. Well, I'm sure he will get an assist on that, but Ciccieri, literally a game of milliseconds at that point with the player imminently there and just having to get a little bit of space to do something with it to avoid turning it over. At that point, you'll take whatever you can get, and it ended up being the golden opportunity for the Golden Griffs.
Certainly, Pat, as the puck in the near side corner in the Rochester end. Tyler Gamble plays it neatly across to Liam McLean, and McLean will send it up the near side as Rochester tries to get it towards neutral zone ice, and skating out with it is Nick Gravel. Gravel trying to do it all himself, takes a shot. That one got blocked down by Kyle Neudorf. Eric Powalski for Canisius sends it to the far side. Tried to get it deep, ended up fanning on that dump-in opportunity, which allows Andrew Short to pick it up for Rochester. That one just slowly dumped into the Canisius end, but given right back away to Alec Vent, who will send it all the way down behind Drolet.
Andrew Urban there to block that dump in. Talk about right place, right time.
Chernobyl tried to find a teammate, but ends up getting picked up here by Joey Harris. On the far side, it's Gamble. He'll just dump it in. Where there's a battle ensuing there in the corner. Trying to get to that loose puck, but Canisius is able to come away with it. It's Will Conmey trying to find a teammate along the far wall, but that will hop up into the Golden Griffs bench. With just over 1 minute remaining here in the third period, we now have a tie game. And Pat, first period was 50-50. We saw Canisius get the goal. The second period belonged to Niagara, and in the third, Canisius storming their way right back.
And that's, again, it just speaks to the resiliency of this Canisius team to even battle back into it, because at some point, especially when you're getting down to crunch time, hold that thought.
As taken here by Neudorf. Neudorf tried to send that one towards the front of the cage, but Chernobyl is able to skate out with it. Chernobyl skating in. The defenseman pinching in, takes a shot. That one whistles wide of Drolet. Coming right back the other way is Canisius. Crossing the line is Neudorf, but not before an offsides call, as Zach Wagner was ahead of the play. One of the few plays Zach Wagner has made that was not right on the money right there.
And get a stoppage of play with under a minute to go, and I don't think either team is backing down either. They want to finish this in regulation. Don't want to get tired, especially tomorrow with the game against some fresher legs of the first round buys that were earned.
That's a good point. Pat, neither team wants this game to go into overtime. They don't want extra hockey just to add to the fatigue level that they might have to face tomorrow. And the winner of this game will go on to face Niagara tomorrow. So Niagara in their home stadium, maybe with a team that's a little bit tired coming off an overtime game. We'll see how this plays out either way.
And if there's any game that you need your legs for, it's against the Niagara Purple Eagles. They just have... They score by committee, but each one of those members of the committee is a star in their own right.
And that puck hops over the Rochester defense, taken here by Brendan Reed. He gets pushed into the far side corner by Loria. Puck out in front, didn't get through. And who is it? Zach Wagner. He's got a chance. Oh, he just missed wide, looking for the buzzer beater with 20 seconds to go. Puck still in the near side corner. Skating out with it is Neudorf. He gets defended heavily, but that puck is taken away by Liam McLean, and he'll just be content with letting the remaining 5 seconds just flow off the clock as we are going to have overtime here in the Dwyer Ice Arena. And right as regulation comes to a close, we saw Liam McLean, excuse me, not Liam McLean, that was Roman Chernobyl, go down in a little bit of a heap, a little extracurricular activity as regulation comes to an end.
Yeah, I'm glad there was no penalty called on that.
Don't need that, right?
Don't need it. It's completely unnecessary. And now I'll go off of that thought since I'm not going to look like an idiot if it ended up going the wrong way. But you talk about the frustration factor that sometimes starts to set in as you get chances on net. And they keep getting stopped. They keep getting stopped. And especially when you're down by 2 and you're under 10 minutes to go, sometimes that frustration factor just forces toxicity in on that team, but not Canisius. They kept battling through all the saves that were made by Abrams. And then Zach Wagner is just an absolute unit out there making everything happen for Canisius. You need a hero like that in playoffs, and extending the game is Wagner and the Golden Griffs. And we have our first sudden death overtime game of the weekend, just 2 games in.
Yeah, Pat, and now I'm going to put you on the spot. Overtime winner. Who's walking out with it, in your opinion? Which team and which player?
I'll text Bucci Gross during the break, and I'll have my answer for you on the other side.
All right, sounds good. I'll have my answer for all of you as well. You are watching NECHL Playoff Hockey on YouTube Live. We're going to head to intermission, and we will have another intermission report featuring the one and only Ben Greco. For Liam Gottimer and Pat Machado, we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the intermission report. Didn't think we'd have an overtime intermission, but here we are at the end of regulation, 4-4, as Canisius ties it up late. Both goals from Zach Wagner, and I just said it, Zach Wagner, why don't you do it yourself? He ties this one up himself. He's got the deflection goal. He's got the nice goal right before that. This is a brand new ball game, or puck game.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, right, right, Ben? And you know what? We were not anticipating another intermission report, but we are on the precipice here of sudden death overtime, and Canisius is only in this spot because of Zach Wagner, and he got 2 goals in the final 10 minutes of that third period to bring this from a 4-2 game to a 4-4 game. So Canisius is in this game thanks to their captain, Zach Wagner.
And before Zach Wagner scores, obviously Andrew Short, we believe Andrew Short from RIT. There was a lot of chaos up in front near Charles Drolet, who just, it seemed like anything could have gone in, and it seemed like there were way too many players poking at it to try to, get the goal.
There were a lot of players at the net mouth and, just kept poking and poking at Drolet, and eventually they were able to squeak that puck back from underneath his pads and past the goal line. So a little bit of a broken play, but Canisius didn't get down after that. You know, they easily could have been down in the dumps, down 2 goals in a game where they really weren't generating a lot offensively. Well, that completely changed once the Zach Wagner show started.
And as you said, the Zach Wagner show, both goalies staying strong as well. Obviously 4 goals apiece, but making some incredible saves. And this one's going to be interesting for what could be another 20-minute period. But like you said, sudden death 5-on-5 hockey.
Right, it'll be sudden death, 5-on-5 hockey, 20 minutes, and if we don't get a winner after that, we'll be back for another intermission report, Ben. I don't want to speak that one into existence, but we certainly shall see. Eddie Abrams has been terrific for Rochester, and like you mentioned, Charles Drolet has had to been as good or even better on the other side for Canisius.
Now, if you were with us a couple years ago, Liam, obviously you were, and
not.
I was on the solo call for Oswego State ACHA. We also, I'm not trying to prophesize anything, and I don't want to jinx anything, but we had a double overtime game last year with Oswego State and Rutgers in the first round. I was on that solo call there, and then the next day it was Oswego State and RIT, and they went into overtime during the semifinals. So these playoffs aren't immune to overtime periods. It's happened before. It's happening right now. But real quick, I do want to respond to a couple of the comments that, Liam, I'm not sure if you were seeing as time went along. But one comment was relating to Oswego State, and I'd like to bring it up, is Alex Golosi coming back for what could be, I think would be technically his 6th year on ice. No, he is not. That's the big joke. He's been here for 5 years already. He was coming back already, but it was just amazing for him to come back. But to answer that question, as an Oswego State alum and Oswego State broadcaster, thought I'd jokingly answer that question. But anyway, Liam, heading into overtime, RIT and Canisius both have that same amount of energy right now. What does either team need to do?
I think they just need to be the first on loose pucks. The team that's going to win this game is going to be the team that comes out energized and ready to go in the first overtime period. We've seen a lot of these goals really been, coming off of power play opportunities, off the man advantage. Now it's just going to be 5-on-5. So expect both teams to stay disciplined, and the team that has more energy and more aggressiveness, I think, is going to win this game. And look, it was pretty even first period. Rochester obviously dominated the second. Canisius got the better of Rochester in the third. We'll see what happens. But like you said, history, it's deemed to repeat itself here. As you said, that we've seen a lot of overtime games in ACHA playoffs in the past. So we'll see.
And that'll do it for the let's call it the end of regulation report.
I
guess we could call it that. RIT and Canisius tied 4-4 heading into an overtime period here at the Dwyer Ice Arena. We'll be back shortly for overtime with Liam and Pat Machado on the call.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dwyer Ice Arena here in Niagara, New York for sudden death overtime between the Canisius College Golden Griffs and the Rochester Institute of Technology Tigers. It's a 4-4 game, and Pat Machado, you can thank Zach Wagner for that.
And let's get down to business. No more ifs, what ifs, coming backs from. It's next goal wins, and there are certainly a cast of characters out there that could put themselves in the running. I'm not gonna pick a team, but I am gonna go Bucci Overtime Challenge after I hand the call to you for the start.
Thank you, Pat. As the faceoff is won by Canisius, a giveaway right off of the draw from Connor Schwartz, but he's able to make a good defensive play to at least poke it loose momentarily. But picking it back up is Brendan Reed for Canisius, and he'll skate out with pace. Left the puck behind him. And thankfully for Canisius, John Crier was there to pick it up before any opportunity came from Rochester. Canisius skating the other way. It's Brendan Reed. He's got some space at the goal line. He'll hold on. Brendan Reed for Zach Wagner, who's got 2 in the game. He's on hat trick watch.
What a way to get a hat trick, too.
To get the OT winner to finish it off. We shall see as Wagner has a chance out in front. That one didn't get through to Abrams. Another chance from Wagner. That one just missed. 2 big-time opportunities from Zach Wagner, the captain of the Golden Griffs, in the opening minute.
Just sending that shot on the glove side. Just got a piece of that stick to force it off and rolling.
And that outlet pass from Rochester nearly got taken away by Canisius, and it will result in a turnover. Tibor Ducati sends it down at the goal line. It is Eric Powalski. He just swings it back for Ducati, trying to get it to the point for Connor Schwartz, but that one's taken away by Tyler Gamble. Gamble will go for a line change, but before he does that, he'll dump it down. Canisius sends it towards neutral zone ice, where it's Liam McLean, but he gives that one up. It's Powalski at the goal line, tried to send that one out in front. Comes for Schwartz at the point, his shot got deflected. That one tipped and hits glass. Schwartz keeps it in at the line. Gets it down low for Powalski. He sends that one softly towards the cage. Powalski back out in front. It comes to the point here. It's Crier. He takes a shot. That hits glass as well. Battling for it in the goal mouth. Rochester just trying to get it out. A turnaround opportunity by Ducati was unable to get the shot off, and coming back the other way is Rochester with speed. It's Joey Harris. Harris on the near side.
And did RIT ever need a change on that?
They did. And now Canisius will make an outlet pass. That pass was intended for Jesse Calhoun. He was unable to get it down with his stick, so we'll go all the way down for an icing and a face-off to the right of Charles Drolet.
Just millimeters away from that stick of Calhoun, and dangerous chances for Canisius back at the other end towards Abrams. He looked a little unsettled as the puck was lost in some skates right in front of the net. Fortunately, it was never really an issue for Wagner, but I don't think he knew where the puck was for a good solid 7 seconds.
Roman Chernobyl wins the draw for Rochester. Back behind the net, a pass out in front towards the slot does not find its intended receiver. Doug Smith on the near side takes a shot. That one slips under the pads of Drolet and just wide. Comes back to the point here where it's Smith. Smith tried to go on the back door for Chernobyl, but they were unable to find the connection. Puck comes out to neutral zone ice where it's dumped right back in by Rochester. Smith able to keep it in for the Tigers, trying to make their way out with it, but a good job of defending by Canisius, and they come back hard the other way. It's Neudorf. Neudorf skating in, tries to go through 3 Rochester defenders, but ends up getting taken down and getting stripped of the puck. The other way, it's Carter Benedict for Smith. Smith passes that one off for Tominich. Tominich takes a shot, gets lost in a few skates. Smith had an opportunity as well, but it's taken away by Canisius. It's Kyle Neudorf. Neudorf skating in on the back end. He scores! Kyle Neudorf with an absolutely gorgeous goal. And Canisius is heading to the next round tomorrow to take on Niagara. What a goal! And Eddie Abrams sitting on his behind cannot believe what just happened. but nothing he could have done on that play. Neudorf went between his own legs, an absolutely disgusting move. Pat, that move was so disgusting, I got to take the headphones off and go take a shower real quick. What'd you think of that one?
One play. That's all they needed. Canisius with some speed back towards Abrams. Able to get some space on the outside. Pass into the middle. Neudorf gets it through the legs and just finds that open bit of space left by Eddie Abrams on his stick side. And Kyle Neudorf, overtime hero for Canisius on one of the most nice goals, especially given how quick that was. You have to make split-second decisions moving in so quickly, and just to have the poise to pull off that between the legs move, because if you fail and it goes into a wrong area of the ice, you could be staring at that same thing happening back the other way. Neudorf, excellent goal. Canisius moving on.
Pat, I've watched a lot of hockey over my years. That was the nicest goal I've ever seen live, at least. But that'll do it for Liam Gottimer and Pat Machado live from the Dwyer Ice Arena. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a 5-4 overtime victory for the Canisius Golden Griffs. Come back and join us tomorrow for more coverage of the NECHL playoffs on YouTube Live. Hello. Oh, sorry.
And welcome back
Go
to
for it, Ben.
the post-game report now. No
Yeah.
more intermission report here at the Dwyer Ice Arena. Canisius takes this one in overtime 5-4 off a magnificent Kyle Neudorf goal, and that's that pairing, Kyle Neudorf and Zach Wagner. They won this one for Canisius.
They certainly did, and Zach Wagner was the only reason why Canisius was able to get this game into overtime. 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of regulation to get this game tied, and his line mate, Kyle Neudorf, in overtime in the first 5 minutes is able to just get some open space on the far side, put the puck between his own legs, between the defender's legs, pull it from his backhand to his forehand. Eddie Abrams was sprawled out, nothing he could have done, and the Golden Griffins, they complete the comeback, and they move on to face Niagara tomorrow.
Not much more to talk about. Only 3.5 minutes of overtime period used, and I guess I jinxed it. I brought up the second overtime, and we end less than 5 minutes into overtime.
Yeah, you did, Ben. You said that there were a couple overtimes in recent years that have gone past the 1 overtime period. Well, Canisius and Rochester would have none of that, ending this one in just 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
So moving forward, we'll be back tomorrow with the semifinals. 6 o'clock puck drop, 4 or 6:30.
6 o'clock puck
6
drop.
o'clock is going to be Niagara and Canisius, the number 1 seed, versus the number 5 seed. And against at the 8:30 game is going to be number 2 Oswego State versus number 3 University at Buffalo. We'll be on the call here at Dwyer Ice Arena for both games. Liam, any closing thoughts?
It was just a terrific game. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us on YouTube Live, and we hope to see you right back here tomorrow.
We'll see you guys tomorrow here on YouTube Live for the NECHL semifinals.